Hey, what's up? Welcome to Degen Ed. That's degenerative education, meaning none of this is financial advice. Just me having fun looking at charts like the chart behind me, which is of SoFi Technologies, ticker symbol SOFI. So I wanted to do a follow-up on this because it has been extremely bullish, really since November 21st when it was at the bottom of this channel, broke out of the wedge, and then consolidated between, let's see, December 4th and December 12th at the top of the channel before breaking out with this extremely bullish green candle, more than 12% on the day, December 13th, followed by a gap up. And then now it's consolidating up here in this region. And so I feel that it has been very bullish. And I do think that will continue, but I do think that this gap may haunt it for a little while. That being based on the high of the 13th, which was, let's see, $8.96, marked here by this blue line. So I do think that a pullback to that level, a wick or a tail of the candle coming down to fill that gap, but then closing above it, I do think that could be a really nice thing. Also, if you do notice, let's see, it does appear to be consolidating in an uptrending manner, which is not necessarily great because since it's uptrending, it may break to the downside. And so, with that being said, a break to the downside could be nice to fill this gap before consolidating further and then continuing up, possibly to fill the gap that is at $10.31, marked here by this blue line. And then there are a couple other things to the downside I want to point out. Also, more bullish stuff to the upside I do want to point out as well. But I do have the, let's see, 50-day and 200-day moving averages here. The 50 days in purple, the 200-day is in orange, and they're getting awfully close. And so when that 50-day moving average crosses below the 200-day moving average, that is referred to as a death cross. That's pretty bearish, suggesting that bearish moves are to follow. However, it may not mean that the top is in. So since they are getting pretty close, let's see, they're like 22 cents apart. It is quite possible that if the stock price does drop, either coming down to fill the gap here at 896 or coming down to these levels I have marked in green at 814 and 773, that could be a bearish sign for the stock. But I do think that there is a lot of strength in it. If we do zoom out some, we can see that there was a recent high of $11.70. Also, if we look at this volume profile on the side and really zoom out quite a bit, there is not really that much price action above this blue line, above 1031. So I do think that if it can break above that and fill that gap, it could, really go considerably higher before, these bearish signs catch up with it. And some of those bearish signs that I had pointed out in previous videos are these gaps to the downside. You can actually see in the volume profile a dip there. And so that would be coming down to a price of $6.05, this lower one at $5.48. And I do find that to be compelling, that there's also this red uptrend that has served as support since, let's see, the end of 2022. And so, I would be very curious if there was a blow off top, maybe going above 1170. But I do think there could be a violent pullback. So I think that's something to be cautious of. But really, this stock has just been so strong the past, month, going from a low to high. Let's say approximately a 58% move. So yeah, I think that's great. So I do think that, if you have been holding the whole time, it might be good time to trim a little bit in case there is a pullback and these lines do cross, the moving averages do cross. But, and I didn't mention this, that we have seen the RSI going as high as like 87. And so with this recent peak of 75 for the RSI, there could be another bullish move that brings that up to, the 80s as far as the RSI goes. And it's possible that could mark a top before pulling back to move perhaps back into the channel. But yeah, I think it's been so exciting following SoFi, and I hope you've enjoyed the content. If you have, make sure you like it, share your thoughts in the comments below, and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Thank you so much for watching.